Welcome back. And today we're going to get straight into the content. We're talking about MSOS. Rescheduling news in the United States has the cannabis industry kind of going crazy right now. And so today it's currently Monday. The markets are still open. We still have about an hour left till markets close. And we need to talk about what's going on here because this is a very time sensitive video and how we can capitalize as traders and investors in this momentum. So let's take a look at the MSOS chart. We're looking at it on the weekly time frame. Those of you who remember my videos know I like to take an approach from the bigger picture and then we narrow it in. I like to look at stock charts from the widest possible lens. And so looking at it from the weekly time frame, we can clearly see that these two lines that I've set out have been used as major levels of resistance when it comes to this ETF. Prior to these being tested as resistance, we saw a very large run up, and all of this was just anticipation on safe banking news and rescheduling in the Biden administration. And so obviously nothing came to fruition and we slowly bled, and the opportunity started to arise when I noticed that the price action was creeping right back up towards resistance. And so I started to do more due diligence. There has been a lot of rumors. Trump has been saying that he is going to reschedule. There's been people close to Trump saying that he is going to reschedule. This is an industry that has been depreciating for a very long time, has been bleeding money, and it looks like an opportunity for a lot of people to make some money. The reason why this is so interesting is those of you who have been watching this channel from back in the day, I want to bring you guys back to this AMC video that I made 4 years ago. And so this video, as you can see right here, AMC was trading at $2.33 and it had a pattern not identical to what's happening with MSOS, but very similar. It's a descending pattern. We had a top line of resistance that kept getting rejected. And if I bring it to the actual chart, this is what it looked like. When I made that video, the price action was down here at 233. The numbers are a little bit out of whack right now because the stock did have a stock split, but just focus on the pattern itself. Once we broke past the top level of resistance, we had a crazy run up. We saw extraordinary amounts of volume. This was slightly different because it was a short squeeze, but the technicals are still the same. When you break past a long-term level of resistance, you can see with AMC multiple reactions on this line of resistance. If you go to MSOS, multiple attempts at breaking past this line, and it's been 3 years since we've seen any momentum above this line. When you are breaking a massive level of resistance, a year-long, 2-year-long, 3-year-long level of resistance, you want to see a surge in volume. So if we put in our volume and we look at our daily, I'm going to change this from our weekly to our daily. You can see the volume that we saw on Friday. I don't think we've ever seen volume at that level before. So just off of a rumor that Donald Trump was going to reschedule today, which he has not yet done, there was actually a Supreme Court ruling that they aren't going to look into a case that has to do with federal prohibition. But that's actually not relevant to this video at all. I'll tell you why this is so exciting right now. So the markets are still open. You can see the prices are still changing. We need to hold this level right here. I would say around 538, call it 535 to about 540. If we can hold that level, that means that we have now treated our former level of resistance as a level of support. And that is a massive, massive signal, because the last time or any time this happens with a stock, expect large momentum. And so because we broke out with large volume, right now there is a potential for this to run. And so if there's any sort of news, any sort of rumors that come out following this date, expect MSOS to run. And so the reason why I'm liking MSOS is this is an ETF. So it does bundle up your volatility. It does bundle up your risk. You have a lot of players, a lot of multi-state operators under one umbrella. There are a lot of stocks that you could buy singly from this ETF that might treat you well. Green Thumb Industries is one of them that I really like. Just to name one. But the reason why I'm personally choosing MSOS is because I actually have a large position into High Tide, which is my favorite cannabis play, which I'll make a video on very soon. But right now, the momentum in MSOS is very similar to when cannabis was getting legalized back in Canada. Now, obviously, rescheduling is not the same as federal legalization. But what will eventually happen when you reschedule cannabis from Schedule 1 to 3, you'll start getting easing of banking regulations. Companies will start to get loans. They will be able to deduct business expenses that are related to cannabis so that they can bring down their total income, pay less taxes. Right now, you have no deductions. You can't mark off anything for your business if it's cannabis related, which means that it's very difficult for cannabis companies to even turn a profit. And what we're looking for now is, if that happens, I personally believe we are in the rumor phase of this run. And those traders that know the very infamous saying, buy the rumor, sell the news. So me as a trader, I'm looking at, disclaimer, I am in MSOS and I did buy before this run up. I've been in this for actually a few months now in anticipation of a run up. So the biggest thing now is we need to hold this level. I'm looking at the price still. We still have about an hour left in the trading session. If we can maintain this position and we can hold above this point, I expect to see larger gaps up. I expect this rumor to run until we get concrete news. Either he shuts it down or he reschedules. And if he reschedules, I think from that point on, there's going to be an opportunity to sell. I think once any positive news officially comes out from the president, I expect this to shoot up, but then I do expect people to start taking profits. And the reality then hits that just because they have now rescheduled it, it will take a lot of time to actually implement, and it will take quarters for it to take effect, for even companies to notice the benefits of that. And I think in that window, you will start to see the price depreciate on the stock when you'll be able to get into another buying opportunity. So currently I am playing this as a buy the rumor, sell the news. And another reason why I'm so confident in this play is because there's still a gap to fill. And you guys know I love my gaps to fill. And there's a gap to fill here at around $6.88 right here. We have yet to fill this gap. So I know that at the very least, with momentum, our stock will get us to about 688, but that's kind of how I'm playing it. I'm watching the momentum and the volume, and currently I'm waiting to see if this holds support. This is a very exciting day. I've been watching this stock like a hawk today. I didn't expect it to shoot up. I think we saw a lot of momentum on Friday, and I think there's a lot of people who are looking to get into this, and I think the price is going to play around. Expect this stock to be very, very volatile. That's also another reason why I like it. If you have an ETF that can go up 50% in a day, I like that kind of volatility. Those of you who are familiar and like more risk, there is another one, MSOX, which is a leveraged ETF where you can make twice the money going either up or twice the money down. And so I personally am staying away from that. I'm sticking with just MSOS. I'm playing the gap and I'm playing the momentum. I'm liking the setup. I'm liking the breakout potential. And I honestly believe if we continue using these technicals with any good news, this thing could run. This thing could absolutely blast off, but I do believe there's going to be a lot of volatility that comes along with this play. I do want to reiterate though, for anybody who is in cannabis, cannabis is a very difficult industry to invest in. I do believe there's opportunities to trade and make some money. I don't think there's that many opportunities when it comes to investing. Because I'm in Canada, I have seen how this industry plays out. It is not a good industry to invest in. However, this is a very hype time in the United States. So let's capitalize on the momentum. The charts look good. The setup looks very nice. And the volume that we've been seeing in the last couple of trading sessions has been nice. Let's hope that we can hold this 535 to 540 range. If we can, I think that is our signal to blast off. I think this is a great buy at the very least till about 688 till it fills the gap. And I think with any positive news from the president, this will shoot up. I don't think it will be a sustained run up. I think once the news comes out, I think that day or maybe the day after is the day where you should probably take some profits off the table, because realistically, as someone who has seen this industry in Canada, who has watched it very heavily, this is not an industry that's going to be profitable. It's very difficult to make money in this industry, and there's always going to be risks. There's always going to be backlash. There's always going to be political changes that will affect policy. And so you want to be in and out when it comes to cannabis. You don't want to be holding the bag. And so I hope that this video gives you guys a little bit more insight into MSOS, into why this is going up and why it could be a great trade. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to make many more for y'all. It's been a minute. but glad to be back.